Okay, so while you were away, I was talking a little about Muller, Bauke Muller. You're right about he being a world champion back in 1993 in Chile when the Netherlands won the Bermuda Bowl. His nickname is the Professor. He's a mathematician. And the reason he is so slow is that he literally goes through every possible combination when declaring and defending. That must take its toll.
North-South do have 25 points, but decided not to bid the game. How about that? And if you look at the right-hand screen, everybody has bid made.
So, quite interesting in the sense that North-South are quite fast. Sorry, we're not getting Muller here. We're getting from Prooijen and Verhees. And they're not slow. One of Trump is 14 to 16. Two spade is range ask. And three clubs shows a maximum and a natural club suit. It's known as the Baron Convention.
Diamond lead looks likely, but this is not.
In the other room, North passed South 1-no Trump opening. I wonder what range the 1-no Trump opening was in the other room. Must have been 12-14. Well, I don't believe this. 15 opposite 10, and he passed 1-no Trump. Well, he did, as we see. Made 3 over tricks for a score of 180. And the Americans will increase their lead now. Oh, Ben's trying to say something, but nothing's getting through.
Seems to me that's the right thing to do, because if you switched around the clubs between the opponent's hands, a spade, if West won the spade and won the diamond and played spades, he might set up spades for his partner while he still had the entry.
We can explain the pass of Renault Trump in the closed room because they played 12 to 15, and you have 10, so you wouldn't look for a game really.
Quirk of ranges, non-vulnerable.
I'll be a bit lonely here. Perhaps Bill Jacobs is available. Maybe it's better for him. If he can hear us.
This, of course, is a very easy 3-no Trump, so a very pleasant start to Grue and Lall.
Now you're loud and clear, but I have a feeling they can't hear me.
I just caught that last comment, and it came through all in one clear sentence, so something seems to have worked out better for me here.
Oh, excellent. Let's keep our fingers crossed. The first
we have a new carbon tax in Australia, so I think maybe they're taxing words and transmissions on the internet first.
That's very funny. I mean, you were not here earlier, I suppose, and we had serious technical problems and missed 8 or 9 boards, at least 8.
Keeping an eye on the transnational field. Who's on the bubble? Mahaffey is 14th place. White House is in 16th place. Shanghai team is in 17th. What are you supposed to do with, well, when he pitches a club, of course, declare his chances of making 5 club tricks have gone up a lot.
I wonder if in the other room they just had a misunderstanding, and they do play variable no trump, so I wonder if perhaps they either opened the wrong no trump or missed the vulnerability and thought it was the other no trump.
That's not entirely true, Ben. Weiss and de Muller play at 12-15 no trump. So for North it was against the odds to bid with his flat 10 count, opposite 12 to 15.
If he sees an honor on his left, it might be a stiff one, and he is still financing position. So I think the ace of clubs is the proper way to attack. Now he knows that.
So that's often the case, and it can be a matter of no trump range, whether you stop in a part score or bid to game. So 14-16 here made Grue invite, and 12-15 in the other room made North pass.
Monaco Z is up to 27th place, 2-4-3.
But they're playing Damian over in 24th. So they're down a couple of imps in this match.
We need something like
Close
maybe
to
21
maximum.
or 2 perhaps.
I don't think that is.
Good afternoon.
That's going to be enough.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on
Hello, Hedy. Good afternoon to you.
17 to it, I guess, or something to.
Can you hear me?
Perfectly well.
Yeah, we had a problem with Ben Thompson. I mean, I could hear him, he couldn't hear me, and, you know, so I asked him to reboot completely.
The same problem you had with David this morning.
Yes.
East open spade, south doubles on his 10-point with a nice distance.
So there was some luck involved here. 12-15, no trump opening in the other room. 14-16 here. And of course it's against the odds to move with the north hand opposite 12 to 15.
Yes.
Best lead is a bump.
Right.
Or do I say would be?
No, you can't.
Would have been.
You can't criticize South unduly for.
Well, nowadays with 25 you've got to be in game even with 24, so you might make an effort with 10 points all the same.
2 club tricks to
I don't think so.
clubs.
Opposite 12 to 15, it's definitely against the odds to move with a 10 count and 4 triple 3. Non-vulnerable.
Maybe not. Will North bid 5 hearts? For sure. And if he does, what happens with the contract? A very sporting double by South. But you lose.
Very aggressive double here, I would say. He's got the shape, doesn't quite have the points. And remember, partner takes out. It's at the 5 level, of course, and it's vulnerable against not.
1 one sequence should be better than the other, and the question is whether the direct 5 heart bids is a slam try or bidding 4-no and correcting to 5 hearts is... yeah, but isn't 4-no trump usually 2 places to play? Yes, but if you correct to 5 hearts, partner isn't going to read you for a 2-suitor if your agreement is that this is the way not to make a slam try. Yeah.
I quite like 4 spades.
I believe it's still...
I think I would open 4 spades only, also, rather than 1 spade.
Well,
Which one?
Can't really count the singleton king of hearts, so you don't really have a sound opener, so that's why I think a preempt is best.
I think it describes the hand best. And he will save his king of hearts if he leaves a diamond.
Well,
plenty of trouble. How many tricks will Declarer emerge with?
lots.
But he didn't.
Tries.
You think he won't be trying?
Would that make a difference? They're only entitled to 1 heart trick anyway.
A rough the first trick.
Yeah.
Play a heart to the ace. Take the club finesse.
Right.
Repeat the club finesse. You can't get back to hand to repeat the club, so you have to play clubs from the top. So rough the first trick, heart to the ace, 10 of clubs, club to the jack, ace of clubs, roughed and over roughed, spade rough, club rough. We lead a spade, they over rough and cash their diamonds. It's probably down 2 at best. Might well be 3 down.
Still, I think most East players are going to open 1 spade in the first set.
Of the fact that the Dutch team were very aggressive preemptors. Once in a while you lose out when you play.
I think people would be divided here. 1 spade, 4 spades. I mean, you can't fold any of the 2.
Okay, but in the system that our East-West are playing, the 2 club opening would show 10 to 15 high card points with 4 plus clubs and 5 plus spades, or a hand with 6 plus clubs. So he really had a systemic 2 club opening here.
Justin Lall would have doubled a 1 spade, 2 spade, 3 spade, or 4 spade.
I wouldn't do that here. I'll say risking missing my spade fit when I my spade contract when I have 7 of them. The partner can't expect 7 if I promise 5.
Can you ever miss your spade contract?
King of hearts at trick 2.
It would.
Sure
you
you
could
can.
only miss
Sure
it
you
if you
can.
open 2 clubs and it's passed out, right?
Yes. And that's what I fear.
If it had held, he might have been able to set up the clubs, and then West would have been roughing.
Well, it could happen. I don't think it's very likely. Somebody will want to bid some red suits, maybe.
Yeah.
Leading the Jacob hearts would have been better for Grue. He kind of needs the second entry back to his hand to take the club finesse.
Hi, Ben.
I don't think he can hear us. It is a problem because we're going to talk over each other. We can't communicate.
Onstein 2, first 16, and currently at 19th position. Monaco Z is dropping 1 place.
Oh, well, there he went. I'd have to...
Well, I only heard half of that, Hedy. Did you complete your sentence, or was it just me?
No, I didn't, because I was talking to Ben and he had disappeared, so I didn't finish the sentence.
Why? Now when East shifted to a singleton diamond, but it took him forever to do that. De Clara probably knew that he had no more trumps. Might have discarded on the diamond.
So De Clara will most likely escape for down one here, and a very good board for USA again. Losing 100 points. And they have a 420 in the other room, so 320 will be 8 imps. By the way, I can inform you that the playoff matches for third place have been cut down from 80 boards to 48 boards. So they will only play three segments. There was a captain's meeting last night and all captains agreed to playing only 48.
Nothing to do with me.
Okay.
4 down in deep.
I think that's fair enough.
Still USA winning an imp.
Well, I think that number one, they're tired, and number two, they want to get in on the transnational.
Closed room.
That too, but it's such a disappointment to have been knocked out of the semi-finals, so you don't want to sit there forever. Everyone knows my view on that. I think they shouldn't have played the match at all. I want them to award bronze medals to both teams.
Cool. In all senses of the word. In the closed room, notice though that South.
We all know that. I mean, that's really the spot you don't want, finishing fourth.
I'm not sure whether Grue and Lall play a diamond, a spade, 3 clubs as
Yes, it's like dancing with your sister.
traditional.
Yes, because she's such a rotten dancer.
In the closed room did not open a 10, 12, 15 trumps.
Anyway, back to this. One
Well,
diamond.
she's always
from
treading on my
fourth.
toes.
Yeah, exactly. One diamond can be 2 cards, I think. So just a modest race to 2 diamonds.
Result for Netherlands
Yes, it's
women
2 plus 10 to 15.
making 1 spade at one table and repeating 4 spades in the other room.
Well, this hand is ideal for non-forcing 2 hearts, perhaps.
Does not guarantee
If you don't have that available,
There it is.
perhaps,
great
and
hands.
perhaps you can double.
Raising 1
Double should show hearts and tolerance for spades. That's what he has.
And he's
extra
got all
diamonds
that.
because he could have had
Yes, but since 2 hearts is non-forcing, I prefer that too.
West doubled
So
for
now the
diamonds.
double over 3 diamonds shows
Takeout.
a good overcall, right?
Yes, willingness to compete.
Yeah, extra values.
Spade contract and then hard contract. Yes. So there goes the potentially reasonable
Well,
result
sometimes
from
you
the
can
other
get
room.
too willing.
The defenders can
Get a diamond lead and then
diamond
club
lead.
back
I
and
suspect
the diamond and
North may win the
oh
jack
my
and
God.
flush trick and shift to a club to make life easy for his partner.
Grue and Lall are very aggressive openers, so Lall's hand's actually reasonably solid for them.
Yes. So this could drift 3 down.
On perfect defense.
3 down, yes. And probably will. So just a small pickup for the Americans, 1 imp.
Yes. Yes, now that he...
Oh,
did
sorry,
not play
sorry. They're vulnerable. They'll go for 300. So that'll be 5 imps.
So at this point, Lall
The only good news on this board is that they did not get doubled.
So it's safe to play another diamond.
Yeah, no one had a double.
I think Verhees might have shown some mercy to his partner.
North knows that East has another diamond.
The other table, South passed, West opened 1 spade, and North overcalled 2 diamonds, and they played 3 diamonds.
He doubled to show extra values, and Van Prooijen expressed his opinion with 3 hearts. I think Verhees can afford to let that go.
By playing the Queen of Diamonds,
He repeated that he had a good hand.
doesn't have the Jack.
He accepted his own invitation, as we say.
To play a low diamond rather than playing clubs from the top. So that way, defense will fire it. Nicely played.
So you're saying that if
I
he
know
was in
exactly
6 diamonds,
what East is thinking.
should he have done something different?
Yeah, I think he might have done something different.
Like
I'm not sure
like what?
exactly what.
Maybe 2 now.
Maybe
three
winning
now.
the Jack of Diamonds at the first trick would send that message the best way that he could. Not easy.
Board 20. South plays 3 now.
If Al Hollander is on voice, perhaps he can tell the audience that the playoff matches have been cut down from 80 to 48 boards.
Genius.
So they are playing the second of 3 segments now.
Declare will presumably win in hand, cash the ace of clubs and throw up a little in his mouth. How many tricks?
Well,
No,
2 clubs shows a 6 card suit, and 10 to about 15.
that's true.
as Italy was.
You can see 8 tricks and probably a 9th trick on an end play.
So how excited will Lall get now? Partner could have the perfect cards for slams. So it happens that he has, although 6 clubs is best played by South. Well, I guess that's impossible to get them there.
So basically 2 clubs is the natural opening that shows 6 plus clubs. Can sometimes have just 5 cards.
Worse slams than 6 clubs. But not today.
But over the 2 diamond,
Grue and Lall play.
over the 2 diamond bid, repeating the clubs, he confirms that he has 6 plus clubs.
Fast not to open 2 clubs, showing 11, 15 or sometimes 10, 15 naturalish.
6 clubs is a great slam from South, because the spade position is protected from South. It must be like an 80% slam. From North, it's still a very good slam. They have to lead a spade to put you under any pressure at all. So if they don't lead a spade, it's once again more like 80%. If they do lead a spade, obviously it's no worse than 50%.
Corner trump, I think.
So here, note number 5 of their supplementary note says, over our 2 club opener, 2 diamond is invitational and artificial, asking partner's strength and if he has a 4 or 5 card major.
question is, what would 4 clubs be?
It also says
Straight.
we are...
If 4
Sorry.
clubs is
Okay,
4,
go on.
which I doubt.
It just finishes by saying we are very sound weak two-bidders.
Play 4 clubs is forcing. And 4 diamonds.
Yeah, but this is not really a week to, is it?
Because I think 3 clubs suggests a minimum.
I mean, it shows 10 to 15.
So if 4 clubs is forcing, then 4 now trump is...
Well, actually, it doesn't say how much it shows, and they consider it a week
Would
too,
you pass the north hand, or would you
now
go on
maybe
to
you
stand?
should...
since this is on the note for the 2-club opening.
What I think I would do.
And the
After that,
3-club bid is a minimum with no 4-card major.
it's hard to imagine
Right. It seems a little strange to me that they would use 4-no trumps
clubs
here as an asking bid. I mean, when a minor is set, most people play kickback. Now, oh, sorry. If it was natural quantitative, then I understand. Because I'm sure they would have 4 clubs or 4 diamonds available as kickback Roman key card.
and let's say cashes the ace queen of clubs. Goes
4
down
clubs
with
seems
hearts,
to have
cashes
also,
the king of
would also have been forcing. They
spades,
can't stop in 4 clubs.
leads a diamond to hand. Now how many tricks has he got at this point? 2 spades, 2 hearts, 3 clubs, and 1 diamond. That's 8.
I don't think people can hear me because
And plays east with
seems like Hedy and Ben both just, you know, talking beside the point.
let's say he pitches 1 heart and 2 diamonds.
Never mind.
Then he has still ace jack of diamonds pair.
I think he can get end played.
Backing the defense.
I can also hear them.
Not for any particular reason, I just can't see.
No, I never ever implied that 4 clubs was possible,
Justin,
so that's why I suggested that 4 clubs or 4 diamonds for them would have been kicked back Roman key card Blackwood,
Yeah, but he can't
and that 4-no trump is natural quantitative.
king in spades. Of course.
But maybe if I'm not getting through to you, you couldn't hear it.
or even Clara might think
No, I heard you say that
play in the closed room.
that 4 clubs or 4 diamonds could be played as, should be played as kickback actually in this situation.
Defense took it and cleared hearts. Clara won the king of clubs and took a spade finesse. And now he's going to try and end play east with a heart, I suppose, since east pitched a heart at trick 2. He's going to try and end play him to give up a second diamond trick or a spade.
Unlikely to get many comparisons to this room, if any, with Muller playing in the other room.
It's hard for him to get.
These 4 are quite fast.
Defenders unblock in diamonds.
If West holds on to it, then and East unblocks the jack, if that's
The 6 of
Okay.
spades may turn out to be a big card as well in some positions.
It's a good
I think
slam.
Lall is going to play Verhees to have led away from the king of spades originally.
Aces unblocked it.
now. Yeah.
It is a good slam. In fact, slam is better than 4-no trump. That's a
Even
bit
6
harsh,
clubs
but
played.
4-no trump isn't a lot of bother.
4th round.
Right. Now you can argue, Ben, that you may be able to make South declare in 6 clubs. Let's assume that North doesn't open. Then if you open some strong something here, it doesn't even have to be 2 clubs, because then it's right-sided, of course. But if you open some kind of strong thingy, and then partner can transfer 2 clubs, I suppose.
Well, of course, they play strong clubs, so Lall can just open 1 club and grab the declarership straight away.
France's
That's true, yes. But this is a normal opening for them. I mean, okay, 10 to 15. He has 9, but he has a 7 card suit, and I think it's perfectly reasonable to upgrade that to 10 and open 2 clubs.
This is a fun hand, isn't it?
A diamond lets it make, doesn't it?
Lall was hoping that with Verhees having led away from the Queen of Spades, he would find a way to the board, I think, but he's decided again.
Has tried to end play east.
As he will.
After cashing the King of Clubs, he had the option of leading a diamond up, and Van Prooijen was under terrible pressure on the 3 rounds of clubs.
Looks like the 7 of diamonds may be kept to win trick 13, Jan, but I suspect West will win it with the 10.
Yes.
In
Such a
practice, where he
pity,
got to, Van Prooijen was unplayable, certainly for a 9th trick and maybe a 10th.
Such a pity that you must go minus on a hand like this. 4 no trumps down 2.
We don't have the other room score. We'll show you in a second. The play was still going on. 3 no trumps lead.
He'll be hoping that the other table gets to 6 clubs and goes down to the 4-0 club break. But no luck, of course.
Looks like a spade game for East-West. Losing a spade, a diamond, and 1.
Well, they played 3 no trump from the south side.
So Grue and Lall were better placed to be
I suppose if you
in the other room.
Sorry, Roland,
they
you
make
go.
the contract. And they make the contract.
spades, declare would be in trouble. But maybe not. Maybe the club ref lets declare.
They got a heart lead because in the other room it was East that had opened 1 heart.
Maybe club lead and club rough and shift to a heart to cut declare off from dumb.
Yeah, but first, how to bid for spades?
Right. When the bidding starts 1 heart past 3 hearts, preemptive, West might just bid for spades.
Yeah, and East got end play to lead away from his king of spades.
1 no trump forcing.
Well played, declarer. Was Muller.
Pretty happy with the way the auction pans out. Strong club, remember, so
Justin Lall more or less psyched a no trump with his nice hard support. Well, of course, afraid of a high spade contract, and right he was.
I think maybe what he did was he was planning to raise hearts at his second turn or give preference to suggest a weak heart raise. And the way the auction went, he was delighted not to have to do that. Do you think East is going to pass out 3 spades?
There's 1 no trump psych here? It must be.
It looks like one.
Yeah. Trying to intimidate the opponent.
Yeah, I think it must be, otherwise I don't understand it at all.
I think spade
Try to intimidate the opponents.
BBO
Yeah.
play 4 hearts.
Nothing bad could happen to him, really. He could just retreat to hearts later.
4 hearts.
It would begin doubling something.
4 hearts over 3 spades.
No trumps.
choice of games between a spade contract and a minor suit contract.
I wonder whether there are...
It looks like 4 spades is on.
Anyway, he passed now.
No. Italy bid it. As did the Dutch.
East's decision to pass 3 spades, I have to be honest with you.
Yes.
It looks like some of your queens...
Could be. If you really want to psych with that hand, you have to bid a spade.
only have 1 trump.
Yes.
Nonetheless, the partner might be...
Yeah, but it won't help, because people play 2 spades now by Verhees. That's natural.
Good, but
Queen
those
of spades is good, I agree.
minor queens don't look
Yeah.
even close to as good as they actually are.
Right.
The trick is to lose the first club trick to North.
He doesn't have to guess.
Well, he
or
knows
just
where the
complete a
ace
trick to
of
the Diamond
club
King.
is, so he, yeah.
It's a spade contract in both rooms. Maybe an overtrick in one way or the other.
And that was, he knows that North has the king of diamond and the ace of club for sure in this hand. So he's just ensured that he doesn't have more than one club loser.
Dealer east. 2 passes to west, too vulnerable against not really, can't find an opening bid there. I beg your pardon. Justin Lall opened a diamond. They're encouraged to open balanced 11 kings.
Interesting, it wasn't guaranteed that North had the ace of clubs, given their propensity for light openings, but the line of play was very reasonable.
The 13 or raise as here to show 4 hearts, 11, 13. And I don't know what Grue is supposed to do, whether to make it.
2 spades is a relay. Last part for strength and number of hearts. 3 hearts showing a minimum with 4 hearts.
4 trumps and a minimum, and I think Grue will.
And Grue had enough.
And it's hard to argue with that decision, since 4 hearts is a fairly poor contract, and probably could even be beaten on it.
So I guess 2 no trump would have said, I have a singleton somewhere and 4 cards, and then partner could ask. Direct 3 clubs would have shown minimum with 3 cards, and 3 diamonds would show minimum with maximum with 3 cards, and 3 hearts shows minimum with 4 cards.
Diamond, a heart, 2 hearts, I believe, guarantees a balanced hand, or a balanced hand or a very, very poor hand.
In effect, it took a diamond lead to hold this contract. In other words, if they had bid to 4, Prooijen would have to lead a diamond, which would be very difficult for him.
East, in fact, needed to lead his diamond to have a chance of getting a diamond rush.
Will need to be 12-15 no trump in the closed room. And now I should think South might reasonably drive to game. Monaco Z have 246. They're 5 victory points out of qualifying. Onstein 2 have dropped a little lower. 3 boards to go, and Monaco Z probably need a game swing or 2. A controlled auction.
Now they can't stop Declarer from taking 10 tricks. I don't expect them to bid the game in the other room either.
Flat board.
If you can open this light, I mean, the 12 count is no excuse for bidding game. Then you only have an invite. Remember, one diamond didn't show diamonds, so Grue couldn't count on a double fit.
So it's only here in the Bermuda Bowl where the young people have stopped in 3.
Isn't it just
most women and most old people have bid the game.
Isn't it a function of the fact that everybody opens light, but only these 2 tables are prepared to acknowledge the fact. So when somebody opens south card, north doesn't have to drive the game, and when somebody opens the north hand to show 12 to 15, the south hand as a passed hand doesn't drive the game. And really, it's not a very good game. Trumps 3-2 and the ace on side, and you're still down if the opponents lead a diamond.
If the ace of hearts is offside, then Grue needs to be able to rough a club, so they can't force all of his hearts out. His only real problem would be if 4 hearts are offside, and then he would be losing a lot of heart tricks, but they still can't draw a trump, so he can always get a club rough.
Close room, they did lead the 7 of diamonds. How interesting.
But there are only 3.
Playing a natural system, you wouldn't open the south cards. That's moot. I got a message from a spectator. Well, if you played a natural system, where 1 diamond shows at least 4 cards, then North would have known that they had a double fit. Well, that's true if you open the south hand playing a natural system, and I don't think many will. Balanced 11 counts should not be opened, in my opinion. Well, strong club systems are different.
Yes, it's well within range, Roland, isn't it? You only need 10 to 15 in their case. That's a relatively tight range compared to natural systems, so it's entirely reasonable to open it.
I can't remember who told me that at the last nationals in the US, practically all 11 plus hands were opened, no matter what their shape.
So bidding sequence like a diamond, a heart, a spade shows force.
Yes, did you notice how often they got too high because of that?
But isn't this the influence of the Meckwell system on the other players?
Now, you can't compare a natural system to a strong club system. Well, opening.
You can't, but obviously other people think they can, and they think, hey, if those guys can open with 11, we can open with 11, and they don't think any further than that.
The convention cards are pretty.
I think it's very dangerous to look at one bid that one pair is doing and not think about it in the context of their whole system. So it's very easy for Meckwell to open 10 counts. It's very easy for Lall and Grue to open 10 counts.
I quite agree with you, and I also would add that you have to be able to play the hands the way these guys can play them.
Or you could just play against worse defenders. Either will work.
Doesn't rate to lead a heart, I would think. More likely to lead a diamond.
The whole Meckwell theory, of course, is that it's much easier to play than to defend, so rather than have a tough time defending, bid some more.
Kasper Connor of Denmark is in 17th, and Iceland are in 20th, so Scandinavians could be
The
fighting
two clubs here.
for the last couple of qualifying places. 2 or 3 boards to go generally.
4th suit forcing.
Most of the matches.
Did you say Iceland is in
Looks like it, yes.
at table 1, the previous match?
One big loss at this point in the tournament, and you could be out no matter where you were, pretty much.
Monaco is now in 24th.
So they need 5 more victory points, which means probably in the last 3 deals they need more than 1 game swing. Any thoughts on opening leads?
I'm not quite sure why he did check back here. I mean, after 1 heart and 1 spade by partner. You know you want to play in 3-note trumps, don't you?
Close room bidding, by the way, is just coming in, so I'll hold you for that.
Maybe trying to protect Queen third club or Jack 10 kind of holdings in partner's hand.
Normal
I have the impression that he wanted Lall to bid no trump. He was trying to transfer the no trump bid to him.
Typically 3 suited with only 3 diamonds.
Maybe clearly one spade didn't say he had diamonds because he had clubs. So maybe 2 clubs is just a check-back mechanism to find out what partner's minor if he has one.
Almost an unbid suit on this auction in the open room. In the closed room, south is relay, north is real size shape. If he finds that he has a singleton heart, I wonder whether there's a possibility that he may head for 5 clubs instead of 3.
I wonder what the choice had been for South if he had had a 4-3-1-5. If he had supported hearts immediately or over 2 clubs. Or if he prefers to show his club.
Safety playing clubs, trying to avoid losing 2 club tricks and also trying to avoid getting West on lead.
Played the Queen of Spades. West took it and shifted to a heart. And now Declare played clubs to keep.
Yes, and this will probably look strange to inexperienced players, intermediate players. So, wow, you have a finesse available. So if the Queen of Clubs is with East, I mean, you can play a club to the Ace and finesse the Jack on the way back and everything will be fine and you'll score 5 club tricks. That's true, but you have to see the hand in context. And West here is the danger hand. You don't want him on lead. You don't want him to lead a heart through. And you may argue it doesn't matter, he has all the high hearts. Yes, that's also true. But unfortunately, the players don't have the hand records, so they don't know that.
Grue was also thinking about the potential for a 4-1 club break. So his best play for 4 tricks and clubs is what he just did. And it happened to be safe on the heart layout as well.
I suppose the play would have been different playing match points or border match, where you must take as many tricks as possible. That's why I like imp so much and MP not so much, because I really like the safety aspect of playing imps.
Yeah, maybe it's a personality test, Roland. I like them both equally. They test different skills. I think it's very interesting what Grue did at...
What I like about imps is being able to play in 5 clubs or 5 diamonds rather than 3 no trump, if I think that 5 clubs is the correct contract to be in.
If I'm not mistaken, Jacco, Hop and Vincent Pachter.
What I like about pairs is being able to double the opponents in vulnerable part scores, shooting for 200. That's always good fun.
And there's a third pair.
That's true.
Bob Goedeboom. No, sorry, Bob Drijver and Marijn Goedeboom.
So here, Grue's play at trick 2 is very interesting. He put the Queen of Spades on the table when I think many people would expect him to go after clubs straight away. What Grue was doing was, often in that situation when you lead the Queen of Spades, it scores, which is handy for him. He doesn't know yet exactly how well the club suit's going to go for him. So there wasn't a whole lot of danger. He had plenty of control all over the place. That's a good way of trying to get the secondary, the second chance going early.
How the play goes after the lead. We've seen 690s, 660s.
Board 24 looks like a pretty dull 3-no. If I'm not mistaken, you make 5 club tricks. diamond is 6, 2 spades is 8, and if you get a heart...
Then you may also argue, I mean, it is imps, so over tricks don't really matter. Well, 9 tricks, 10 tricks, doesn't matter. But, unless you lose the match by 1 imp, of course, or 0.33, as happened to Poland against France last night in the seniors.
And I don't think you can make 3 now.
And then, okay, you win it.
Obviously it seems once you've got your contract under control, that's the time you start looking around for the other tricks, because they do add up across a 128 board match.
So 1 diamond doesn't promise any diamonds, and it's 12 to 14 balanced, or a 10 to 15 hand with both minors, or 6 plus diamonds, or 4 diamonds and 5 spades, or 4441 or 4450.
Yes, that is really a multicolored 1 diamond, isn't it?
Yes.
From north, and that makes Declarer's life very easy.
And we will probably also get to see their canopy openings, where they open a shorter suit before a longer. What they do if they play blue club or Roman club, but many, I mean, it's not played by many nowadays. I think Austria is the last country to actually play blue club.
Could this be beaten? Do you think?
I'm sure Verhees and Prooijen have done the analysis, and I'll bet that 1 diamond is a significant loser for them. It's such a wide-ranging and poorly specified opening that it's just begging the opponents to take a bid. Whenever I see opponents opening something so unspecified, especially when it's 1 diamond, I really stretch to make a bid to put the pressure on their agreements and to make it hard for them to find their true fit.
Very painless anyway. In the closed room, West has opened a club.
The trade-off, of course, is that they have a lot of very specified openings, like their 2-level openings, which show 4 of a minor and 5 of a particular major, and I'm sure that those openings are very big winners for them. So, you know, there's a trade-off involved. Somewhere in your system you have to have something which doesn't work so well for you.
Raised to 3. Well, the Smirnov team I thought I saw was now out of the top.
So while this is playing out, maybe I should mention that we have a bonus broadcast for you today. We have the usual 3 segments in the finals of the Bermuda Bowl, Venice Cup and Senior Bowl. But we also have 1 quarter-final, well 2 rather, 2 quarter-finals of the transnational teams later in the day, starting at 20:30 Central European Time, 19:30 in the UK, 2:30 p.m. in New York, 11:30 a.m. in Los Angeles.
Likely to be flat.
And Hedy will be back for that one.
25.
Yes, I will.
North the dealer.
That'll be about 3 past my bedtime, Roland.
North might open a strong club.
Yeah, intentionally I didn't mention Sydney and Melbourne because I know it will be in the middle of the night for you.
Diamonds. He has to be a little careful, of course, as he is vulnerable against nut.
Notice that if you play 4 spades from south, and you might easily do that if the response to a club is a transfer to the major.
Roland, are those matches the round of 16 or quarterfinals in the transnational?
Yes, you get a
Well, they changed the format yesterday, so they're actually having rounds of 16 rounds of 16 as well. It was meant to be just 15 qualifying rounds of 10 boards and then on to the quarterfinals. So only 8 teams advancing among 151, and reasonably, in my opinion, they changed the format and made 16 teams advance to the round of 16.
Heart shift. You can't get enough discards. Yeah,
Of the strong club opening in North. Overcall,
anyhow.
negative, no, overcall and the normal one heart bid, and now West is in the tank.
Diamond indeed, and now it's up to South.
South has bid a heart.
Even at these colours, he can bid 3 diamonds,
West at the vulnerability.
perhaps even 3 clubs, I don't know.
Yes, I was just going to say 3 clubs here. He's a bit too good for 3 diamonds with a nice 4-card fit and a singleton and a good 5-card side suit.
Well, yes and no. I mean,
Exact-
too good. Well, you heard a strong club and you heard a positive response, and you're vulnerable against not. So you really don't want to get too high.
Explained by the partner of the person who made the bidders.
Yeah, I think it's a fair bet the partner doesn't have a whole lot.
And now it's up to East on opening lead. Do you think he might lead?
You're never going to sacrifice anyway, yeah? So the intention of 3 clubs should really be to give partner a choice of leads.
Well, or maybe
If
Now this
North
can
becomes
be-
particularly-
This can be beaten.
3 of diamonds would be good.
You have to
And maybe it's the
you
right lead.
play
It's on Vugraph.
diamond, and he takes the king, and he plays the king of clubs, and now East roughs that, and eventually he can
first or second right.
discard 2 clubs on 2 hearts by taking the king of hearts with the ace,
The top 16 teams listed. Those are the current
but he still has another club loser.
Smirnov with a game swing is edged back into the top 16, pushing out.
because he has to overtake the king of hearts, you mean?
Yes, he has no other entry to dummy.
Thank you for
The
the
10 doesn't come down.
whoever's responsible.
Yeah, that's possible.
Still a chance to recover. Ace of diamonds lead. I think the defense are going to get this right.
So what did
That
you
would
say
be a very good defense, and they seem to find it.
for ace rough? So
And
that's-
East doesn't even have to shift to a heart, I think. There's no pressure at this point.
Well, let's see what Dirk is correcting this to.
clubs.
But I think that if after the ace of diamonds he plays his 3 of diamonds, it should be preferential
Possible defense to find it any other time.
for clubs.
Well,
Yeah, I'm asked that question by our Hollander. With the changing conditions of contest for playoff, does that mean those players get to enter transnational? Yes, they
Oh
do.
no.
What do you mean? No, they do.
I'm sorry. It's not that. It's that Dirk first showed West playing a small diamond on the Queen of Diamonds and not overtaking it, and that's when I said, oh no, because I was disappointed at not ideal defense. But then he corrected that. Maybe he was joking with me. Yep, looks down now.
Trick in the bank already. And just wait for the setting trick. As long as East either switches or sticks to his heart.
Looking at all 4 hands, you may claim that this is not a difficult defense. But I would claim it is, because I mean, it's not attractive to lead from a suit headed by the ace and not the king there. Ace, queen, jack. He could be squandering a trick by doing that. So I think it was very well judged by Van Prooijen, and it's not an automatic lead.
Best return here is a heart, breaks up any possibility of a squeeze.
Seems so far a good result for the Netherlands as at any other time.
There is no squeeze, but
No.
good technique to return a heart.
Quite amazing.
Well, you can play spade.
Amazing because at most tables
You can, because there's no squeeze. I'm just saying that technically the right play is a heart.
and by opening a spade probably
Well, he'll think about it for a while.
so that East-West didn't
Sure, there's no prizes for finishing quickly.
their diamond suit, their diamond fit, and a diamond lead was not
Muller must have heard that before then.
not so obvious. In fact, at all the other tables, a spade or a heart was left.
It's quite funny. I can tell you a funny story when this is playing out, because it's not interesting anymore. Glenn Grothan from Norway is also a very slow
That,
player,
of course, is maybe
and
that also
it's
whether the Wijs play is talking about.
so happened that he would always finish
Result
after his teammates.
about Grue.
So they would just be waiting for him outside to score up. And then on one occasion, about 5 or 6 years ago, he managed to finish before them. And he was so confused because he couldn't find his teammates.
Hilarious.
Van Prooijen is
But of course he's been playing on teams with Helgemo a lot, and we know that he plays very fast. So it's all, of course, most people will finish behind Helgemo.
the rest is okay.
Did you see the hand, by the way, by Helgemo that won the award for Best Played Hand of the Year, the 7-heart contract?
No?
I did indeed. It's better than the best played hand of the year, best played hand of the decade.
I agree. Wasn't that amazing?
Roland, did you watch the video of your prize giving that you were absent from?
I did, yes. I'm getting a diploma eventually.
Yes, I saw. I saw they handed it over to Jan.
Yes, Jan Swan first from the press room, and then on to Jan van Kleef, and then on to Geo Norris from Denmark Seniors, and eventually it'll end up in Denmark.
And you don't even have to frame it because it's framed already.
Yep.
Ah, he plays back a spade.
I think I have to use a nail and a hammer to get it onto the
Oh,
wall.
wow.
Isn't that correct?
Yeah, but do you know how to do that?
No, in that case I have a problem,
Oh my God.
because I have 10 thumbs.
You could
Perhaps
try
super
some glue.
Snap Hedy.
Sorry.
So what happened? Down one, okay.
No, we just said the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. So he's trying to go for the squeeze, but it's just not going to work. But it's a good try. And it's actually not like he's got any other option. Either the 10 is going to drop or it's not going to drop.
Yes, and that's the Muller effect, of course. The other room, Thompson started 10 minutes ahead, and they are on board 24. Also, they're playing against Herd and Wooldridge is also a slow player. It all adds
Yeah, but
up.
he's not in your club.
Wow, that is a
This is an
powerful
excellent
hand.
slam. North has an excellent hand and should be able to do some bidding.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
it. So, yeah.
And now North has shown a hand too good for a two-club overcall. Double followed by three clubs. That is some hand vulnerable.
Chances are bigger than they don't have a clue what's going on.
So Lall has a huge hand for him there. Although King Jack of Diamonds, not the best values you can have. Your 4-card support for partner. You do have a 5 suit and a singleton.
Surprised.
I don't think he's going to be too worried about diamonds.
Play a canopy system, so I would expect
He'd like to be able to show his singleton.
hard.
4 hearts here could be a splinter bid.
Wow.
Maybe he
Did he really pass? No.
Apparently not.
third hand as a lead director, because his diamonds of course are much
Okay, so 4 hearts would not be a splinter bid then.
so on diamond double. 2 spades are fast, that I understand. 3 clubs showing a strong hand with clubs.
Oh, maybe, but it's quite possible that 3 no jumpers is the right contract. I don't think Grue had to be quite as strong as this for his 3-club bid, so Lall was just making room.
Like a cold.
No, but now he's
Okay,
shown an even better hand when he pulled 3 no trumps to 4 clubs. I say, I don't care about your diamond stopper partner, I want to go to slam. And that should mean that he can control diamonds himself.
North-south.
Well, I think the free bid of 3 hearts over the double of 3 diamonds already shows that he's not worried about diamonds, doesn't it? If he had 2 diamond losers, for instance, he could pass the double. 3 diamond double and pass and see what your partner says. Lall is not prepared to Q-bid his singleton heart.
No, because of King Jack of Diamonds. That is his problem. I mean, and he knows he can throw them out of the window.
Okay, but does he know that his partner has a singleton diamond? Or a second round control of
I'm a little
diamonds?
Yeah, I think so. When he bids 4 clubs. I really think so. But that indicates a singleton diamond.
2 spades shows values.
Well, Lall
To me,
wasn't
the-
obliged to bid 4 diamonds, he was going to bid 4 hearts, so it was up to Grue to decide for himself if he had diamond control, which of
Yeah.
course he does.
To me, the 3 heart bid already shows the diamond control.
Against USA1. As France did twice. And Poland.
What would you do with a 1-4-2-6?
You can pass when you have 2 losers in the suit. It's forcing anyhow.
Way ahead of the closed room.
Wait a minute. Board 25 has now been adjusted to 4 spades make king.
Room, but then we still would have images, video of the open room, and that's
Anyone care to tell me how it made?
confusing. Let's see
Don't
what
tell me that
here.
he threw a heart at any point,
Spade
because I don't believe that.
with hearts.
No, I don't either.
So 4 spades is an excellent shot, I would say. And very well biddable.
That's very
That's
weird.
Dollar boards. East opens strong club, an ultimate club as they call it.
Yeah, I'm totally
On 26, I wonder if Lall thought he'd done enough with 3 diamonds followed by 3 no trump. That actually showed something extra for what he'd already done.
Originally, I think, by Russ Ackblad and Ron Rubin in America.
Going back to 25, our spectators watching the live video say that he actually did throw a heart. I can't just
Well, that-
imagine that. With ace queen jack to 5 and dummy.
2 hearts, probably a transfer. 1 heart, 2 hearts by West.
When
Learned.
West made the fit bid of in clubs, that surely shows 4 cards in diamonds, so he has no reason to hang on to his diamonds.
5 plus space. Thank you. Good.
So it's very weird that he would discard a heart.
Yes, but I scrolled back now and I can see that the Vugraph operator also confirmed that he threw a heart. Strange as it may look, but he did.
So board 25, where Verhees van Prooijen.
So one very good board for USA coming, 25, and one not so good, 26. So I predict not much of a swing when you put those 2 boards together, but we should see.
Not at all easy to make. 3 diamonds by North, some mixed race maybe, or lead director. I think it's lead director. 3 spades, 4 spades.
Pretty straightforward game here. You have 3 top losers, and 1 diamond goes away on the 4th club, so there's nothing to the play here really.
Now soon we'll cash out the red suits and we can rush to the next hand. And
3 diamonds by North,
we are
heart
3 or
raise.
4 boards ahead to the cloud room.
So again, for our intermediate players, we have many intermediate players among the 4,500. You will see the declarer will cash the ace of spades first to guard against a 4-0 break in either direction. Normally it won't matter because you'll find 2-2 and 3-1 breaks more often, but 10% of the time you will find them 4-0, and since you can guard against a 4-0 break, you will cash an honor from the hand that has 2 of them.
Ace. North. Follows with the 6.
3 diamonds was a neat bid as well. As a passed hand, 3 diamonds showed heart support. So Grue wanted to raise hearts, but didn't want partner to lead them. He bid what he wanted partner to lead instead. Of course, Lall had the ace and the king of hearts, so he was always going to lead those out first.
So in the meantime, we know that who qualified in the transnationals because they just finished their round 15, and let's check who are the first 16. We wait for a couple of seconds.
Going back to how to play
Right now,
the spade suit.
team from the
I
small
mean,
village
as
of
I said before, inexperienced players will never notice that they played the suit wrong when they cast the king first, because they don't find a 4-nil break very often. And when they do, they will also be okay if North has 4 of them. But there's no reason to risk anything, because you have a 100% play for no loser.
as settings. Iceland. Iceland, by the way, was crushed by the Netherlands in quarterfinals here. So they're having a hard time here in Veldhoven. China Open won
In a long match, especially Bermuda Bowl final, it's very important to preserve your energy. So right now, I imagine Verhees is just humming a little tune to himself in his head, and Prooijen is sitting there quietly waiting for Lall to do something, and he's letting Lall use his energy.
finished 6th.
At this point he could actually claim.
Okay, here's a claim.
So I think that was completely deliberate rough and discard by Lall. I'm confident that he knew for sure Grue had 4 hearts, but Lall could think of no way to defeat this except trying to muddle up declarer's spades in some way, hoping perhaps that Van Prooijen started with 3 spades only. None of that's working, but you might as well try something.
So as expected,
So I just heard
the result on 25 is in, 4 spades went down in the other room, 10 imps to USA, but they may lose them all again
both North players
in
are for spades and
5 to 7 minutes.
slipped through that
Could be longer, because Muller and Device
Wijs went
will be bidding the hand
so the Netherlands
either to game or to slam.
imps there 10 imps, we see it now. But they can make a revenge on board 26 by bidding 6 clubs, but we still have to wait for that. So here, West opens 2 hearts, showing a 2 suitors and hearts in the ultimate club system. North overpowers 2 spades and East bids 2 numbers round.
2 hearts shows at least 4 clubs and at least 5 hearts, so a special bid in the Verhees and Prooijen system.
Just as he would 2 half pass.
And about 10 to 15 points.
Natural.
So my experience, this sort of bid, this very specific sort of bid, is a huge imp winner, especially opening at the 2 level. Takes away a lot of space from the opponents. Your hand is very well defined. I expect that Verhees and Van Prooijen find themselves regularly winning a lot of imps after these sort of openings.
Bids simply gain in spades.
This would be a 2-heart opening in your system too, wouldn't it, Ben?
Yes, it would, and our experience is certainly it's a big game.
Lose.
I think that Verhees and Van Prooijen probably win even more because theirs is even more tightly defined than ours.
Is there something to be played for?
It wouldn't be a 2-heart opening for you,
There's always
Roland?
something to be played for.
No, certainly not,
Straight
no.
contracts. Didn't make more than 9
I don't play intermediate openings here.
And it would be
I don't-
too strong for a weak one?
Well, I have a 5-card suit.
You don't play multi?
Leads the 8 of clubs. Yeah.
Multi what?
Pole position and he will table it.
I don't know what you mean. I don't play 2-suited weak
So, 8 of clubs.
bits, if that's what you're
Okay.
saying.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Probably.
I'm not going to do it anyway, even if I did, with 2 aces.
I think the opening bid showing 5-5s are kind of a waste of a bid. 5-5s are actually rarer than you think they are, and to get them in the right range is rarer again. I think you're much better off with natural weak twos, for example, or intermediate openings. There are a variety of things you can do which are much more frequent. I think you should use the 2 level for things that are frequent.
Well, 5-4 is more frequent than 5-5.
Okay.
So if
Yes,
you
by a
wait,
very big margin.
Indeed, 4 spades went down on board 25, so indeed so far the imps total is
So,
45.
as I predicted, I got it right for once.
Grue and
That's
Lall missed
well, 26 would be slamming the swing in the other direction. The Dutch did bid to 6 clubs in the other room.
the Weissmuller have bid 6 clubs, but they are still playing it.
that will tighten up the match again.
Pretty sure they make it.
So Declare will lose 2 hearts, 1 diamond and 2 clubs.
So this would just drift one off.
By the way, do we feel that North really had to bid 4 spades? He has 13 points indeed, but his distribution...
One has to be a little careful, of course, you know, strange things happen. We saw on 25.
That the hand is not complete for
I was just checking my stats. A 5-5 shape, specifically 5-5, all combinations, is about 4% of all hands, whereas 5-4 any is more like 25% of all hands. So
Yeah,
I thoroughly approve of opening at the 2 level with 5-4s, and thoroughly disapprove of opening at the 2 level with 5-5s.
North South do have a great spade fit.
I'm with you all the way.
They have no spade losers, they have no heart losers, they have no club losers, and they have 1 or 2 diamond losers, depends how you play them. But you can also always river down on the heart. Six spades has 3 times already.
Well, 6 spades can't go down because Declare don't touch the diamonds and play just ace of hearts, queen of hearts, and whether it's covered, which is not the case here, or not, he threw a diamond. And if the opposition plays the diamonds earlier, he has no problem in the diamonds.
Well, Michael's at the 3 level, it's a rare bird.
12 tricks, it's not an obvious 6 spades to bid.
So what is Lall going to do here, I wonder?
No, for instance, England in the battle for the bronze in the Venice Cup
Could of course just blast 6 spades.
Here we have 2 spades open bid by Joe Grue. Probably looks very much like a weak 2 in spades. In East
He's trying to figure out if there is a scientific way to bid the hand.
and non-leaping Michaels, and now it's up to South. There's something to be said bidding 6 spades, and he does.
Well, took no time to South to bid 6 spades, and
It's difficult, isn't it?
For North to play.
So,
for North to make his
2 right.
Good practical choice.
By the way, not that it matters.
Yeah.
Many
Time to
players
call it a
play,
day.
Eastern lead would play the king of club when they have a singleton in another suit, and the ace if they haven't a singleton. But of course they're and the king of club is roughed.
I don't think they would apply to a 6 level thing. That's when you are playing against 4.
Yeah.
Then you want to get a rough. I think the hopes of East here are not that high. I collect my king and then I play my singleton to the ace.
Unless the bid on 6 level.
There is the smallest piece of interest to the play, but really not much. If spades are 2-0, Obviously, if spades are 1-1, you can ruffle 4 clubs and it's easy. If spades are 2-0, then you play ace queen of hearts, losing to the king as you expect to, but you get a lot of losers away from north.
He knows they have a big fit in one of the minors.
So on the queen of hearts you don't ruff, you discard a diamond, and then on the jack of hearts you discard another diamond.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately you deal with your club losers.
Anyhow, it was curious to see that 3 spades was a Michael and that they don't
I
play
have no idea what's
leaping
happening.
Michaels over the 2 spades
Well,
opening.
sometimes we have, because some
They
people
do,
will help
but
us
the
to
hand is
work
not good
with
enough for that. 4 clubs would show a better hand.
There's been
I can understand that, but 3 spades just has a different meaning to me.
I think
Oh,
that
it
would
wouldn't be
be
Michael's
set
to
by
you.
26-24.
No.
Now it's
It would be either asking for a
Okay, what do
spade
we have
stopper
here? We have a
or
slam
for
of
minors.
yes, but it doesn't work. But you can do something in hearts.
Now this is an interesting hand.
So the trick is to bid 6
If we gave Lall the west hand, would he bid 6 spades?
Poland and avoid 6 diamonds or 6 hearts.
I think so, yes.
Dummy.
It depends if North starts with a club ace. or
Fantastic
king.
hand.
Now he must play a club.
Yes. And then what?
You don't have to give it
Then
to Lall.
declare
How about giving it to me or to you?
to get rid of more than
I
2
think only
two
Yeah, the
diamonds.
trouble is that you can't quite make it, can you?
Diamonds.
even a heart lead doesn't help.
Ace of clubs lead, you can throw the king, get to the board, you get the ace king of hearts, but you still have a losing diamond finesse.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right.
And ace of clubs, heart switch. Then you make it.
So you can give Grue a very frightening moment if that's the way it pans out.
So you have to
Very good control there from Verhees. He expects to have 2 losers in the minors, maybe 3.
Classic auction. 4 hearts by east, 4 spades by west. Intended as a cubit. We saw it with Smirnov Pikarek, I believe, in the Cavendish this
They don't play Texas, so 4 hearts for them, I guess, could be relatively wide-ranging.
But here it was intended as natural.
You think?
They think, and they are laughing.
Well, a couple of specs telling me that he can get to dummy by playing a club. No, he can't. If North is alert, he can go up with the ace of clubs if he leads a low one. And if he plays the king, he can duck.
And he'll just lose a late diamond.
And both plays are clear at this level of the game.
I wonder how many pairs would pass 4 spades. Of
The
course,
clear
it's
danger from the defender's point of view is that Declarer gets the board and makes use of the ace king of hearts. So your only prospect when Declarer leads a low club towards the board, if he has the king, is to win the ace and hope it's flow from king x. And if he leads the king, your only prospect again is to duck. Doesn't matter whether he has more or not, although it's unlikely he would have more.
One chooses from 9 to 16. Then 2
I'm
chooses
asked if
from what's
everyone
left.
plays 4 spades as non-forcing here. I don't know about everyone. I play it as
It's
non-forcing.
bracketed after this.
What a pity. What a
It's
pity.
non-forcing.
The 7 cards. Lots of long suits
Yes,
in this segment.
I said non-forcing.
Okay.
4 spades has been twice.
Yeah, our rule is that if 4 of a major can be natural, it is natural.
South will open what? 1 spade only. Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. West doubles. Okay, I can understand that. North 3 doubles. That's probably points. I think it's
Light takeout double or the perfect shape. So if you have a perfect shape like 4-4-4-1, you can have 10-11 points for your double. Quite normal.
It's not happening. Okay.
they all love to see the finals, David.
Yes, that's a much better hand than some of the 4-3-3-14 counts that you feel obliged to double on, but really feel uncomfortable. The 4-3-3, Roland, how much do you feel you need to make a takeout double?
Well, it really depends. If they open a minor and I'm only 3-3 in the majors, it takes 14 for me to double. If I'm 4-3 in the majors, I can do it with less.
Yes, a little more upside. I agree with you, Roland.
You should actually not. Well, you don't lose a heart anyway now. So.
Oof, this has just picked up the heart suite for no loser.
Yes. The recommended lead, this is a book lead really, and it is not a good lead on this layout.
Maybe you should take the ace of hearts.
And it gets worse because now Lall can, informed by the takeout double, he can win the king of hearts, take the club finesse, and if Verhees covers, then it blocks the suit, but if Verhees doesn't cover, the diamond goes away.
You can pitch a heart on a diamond now.
I think it was queen, small, 10, king. Is there
I think we might see Lall win the king and put the 10 of clubs on the table.
you can get a rough.
Yeah. So it's not so obvious what you should
Yes,
do.
we talked about that yesterday, Ben, that when you want them to cover, you will lead your highest card
True.
from touching cards, and if you don't want them to cover,
South
you
part
would
of the
lead
rules
your
is that
lowest.
The king of spades might be offside. That's the bad news, but the good news is that the king of clubs might be onside.
Yes. Now, of course, Verhees, getting very deeply into the game, might think if Lall has the 10 and another one, he might just as easily lead the low one. And if he's got the 10 only, he's clearly going to take the finesse because Verhees took a bid, so he might as well cover. So Verhees might still get this right. It'd be interesting to see.
Fairly.
You might recall that yesterday I said that Mr. Zimmerman had applied for some extra rounds to the transnationals when his team was running 109th, and I think I just saw him at 24th, so probably a couple of extra rounds was all he needed to qualify.
Yes, he almost did qualify, but
Yeah, it was 24th.
the round robin was just too short for him.
I thought he was on that page. Maybe I misread it.
Certainly, he played Damianova.
So what's
Oh,
the
they
line?
are in 28th.
What's the line he goes?
I think we should win the king and probably play
Nope.
the diamond king.
10 of
But
clubs.
he plays the ace of spades.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That if West has a king doubles, I think that would put the jeopardy.
He can actually pick up the whole of the heart suit. In fairness.
Yeah.
Is still okay though?
They're saying if West had
Sure.
won the spade with a king doubles and returned a club.
Yeah, Van Prooijen can get a rough with his natural trump trick, but there's no second entry to the West hand to get a second heart rough.
Once more, West
Right.
out also is very much favored to his king of clubs.
So is De Clero going to win the club, cash the diamond and pitch his losing club, or is he going to... Well, it won't matter now. His next hand, it went a heart rough, put an end to this hand. So De Clero lost...
But of course he'll get one regardless, because Verhees can't know the partner's spades are this good.
Spades.
So here we have the last word of the set. West the dealer.
So, on to the last board of the set.
Okay, so the playoffs
Time for me to
will be finishing this set.
say a few words of appreciation.
And it looks
First
as though
to our excellent operator in
third
Veldhoven.
spot.
His name is
England, Netherlands still
Dirk
very close.
Klauwens.
It's up in the air, and it looks like Poland will prevail over USA1 to take the bronze medal.
Thanks to my excellent co-commentators Hedy and Ben.
Trump East.
And thanks to our colleagues doing the written commentary, David, Al, Barnard and Jupp. And finally, thanks to our faithful listeners. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you will be back later. And later is in 1 hour and 15 minutes at 16:45 Central European Time.
Thank you, Roland, and I'd like to thank the players at this table for finishing 5 boards quicker than at the other table.
3 no, hard lead. Italy against USA.
Yeah, I fully agree with your sentiment there, Hedy. Sometimes the play can be excruciatingly slow. I mean, really too much.
Very strange.
Well, I defy anyone to find an entry.
Quite a bold lead from Lall. Lall had a terrible hand to lead from. Ace Queen 1 is an unusual lead, but
An amazing ace of spades. And
he's decided to go on the attack.
58 probably discouraging.
Well, he knows there's only one card in partner's hand, and he's just praying it's king to 5 spades.
Well, on a good day, your partner comes through with 5 spades to the jack.
King double. There is 2 chances for that lead.
Indeed. And Declaro comes through with singles and king, even better.
But as long as East
That is not as frequent.
So we can something
But on this day, Grue said, "I hate your lead. Think of something else."
appreciate that.
He just hates any lead, doesn't he?
with East as declarer.
It's
Yes.
reasonable to me, but
Perhaps, let's see, you lead a club.
club lead is your only chance.
Yes, then
and you
you-
take 2
yeah.
clubs of diamond and 2 spades.
Yeah.
But declarer, even on a club lead, has 2 clubs, 3 hearts,
Oh.
and 5.
He could have just led his
Only a
4th best from longest and strongest, which here would have been the 7 of clubs, and then just keep playing away at the clubs. It wouldn't give anything, and eventually he would make his 2 spade tricks, and he'd make 2 club tricks, and he might even make a diamond. You never know.
Picked up another 50.
There you go.
Where
Lall chose the ace of spades. Hedy would lead the 7 of clubs, and I would lead the 3 of diamonds.
The 3 of diamonds is a good choice, in my opinion.
board is a called 6 spades. So
Does that mean I'm stuck with leading the 9 of hearts?
are just begun.
Yeah, but that could be a good lead as well, Ben. That would be my second choice.
I don't think
It
anyone
works.
thought, Jan, that
Because your partner happens to have the 8 of hearts as well as the jack.
Yes. Otherwise it'd be very embarrassing.
And you know, the reason the 9 of hearts could be very good is that dummy didn't bit Stamen, so he's unlikely to come down with 4 in either major. So partner is a favorite to have many hearts.
Partner's favorite not to have any high card points.
Yes, it's not like I'm trying to set up tricks. It's just that I'm trying to be passive here because I have all the defense.
I must admit that I would probably lead the 3 of diamonds, which would be 4th from one of my longest, but not my strongest. Because I really don't like underleading an ace against no trump if I can avoid it, if I have another
I don't think
option.
there's any good defence when you cash the ace of spades because you've actually given the tempo back to declarer.
Sure.
Yeah, you feel like you're giving away a tempo by unleading an ace.
Yeah.
I was thrown
And you
out
usually
of
are.
one.
Except you have to actually avoid leaving 2
People
low
don't
numbers
like me.
that might get
They kick
anybody
me
clubs to
out.
play a diamond into the ace queen for declarer's 9th trick.
But
Oh, poor Roland.
But I was back in a split second. I mean, it shouldn't kick me out.
Another, you're okay.
And then you can exit with a heart and you're in good shape.
You've got the login page ready, huh?
Claire has
Yes.
did extract your heart.
It's been grueling, 1.5 weeks so far. More than 1.5 weeks. So I'm looking forward to seeing the end of it, of course, on Saturday, and then I'll just sleep for 7 days.
Looking at 13 points when the bidding's gone 1-0, 3-0.
So we've moved on from biblical times. You get to sleep for 7 days, not just on the 7th day.
Could have been right if that
Right.
had been the spade jack.
But it still needs to clear it to have king double and spade and not king to 3.
Or dummy.
But some say that bet is the most dangerous play to be, so perhaps I shouldn't.
The next session starts in 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Right. Most people die in bed.
16:45.
Yep, it's a fact. We all know
The
about
US
that.
has made 3 no trumps for the US seniors.
Well, the three of diamonds leads not very taxing.
Okay, hand is over. But in the closed room, it's not over at all.
Can we switch to the closed room, please, Kiko?
So, nice rest for some of us, more than 1 hour. Good luck to you if you want to follow play in the closed room.
Has been doubled already.
We'll be back in 1 hour and 5 minutes. Bye for now.
Call this a strike tail double.
Thanks everybody. Bye now.
No redouble.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Was the double intended?